this beautiful view. I still have more hours to go. I'm driving, so that's why it's not as stable, but I'm doing the best I can and trying to stay on this road. And may God keep me safe on this road and safe travels. But I just wanted to show all these beautiful mountains. So beautiful. Yep. Okay, you guys. So while I'm on this journey, I would just like to talk more about how we need to safeguard ourselves and start to love ourselves. One of the things that the empath needs to learn is how to love yourself, because we're so busy looking beyond ourselves and seeking the help of others that we don't even realize that we need to have self-love for ourselves and take care of ourselves. We are so much about is this person okay? Is this person good? That we become blind to our own well-being and our own health sometimes. And so one of the things that all of this painfulness that we go through is trying to teach us is to learn to love ourselves, is to learn to enjoy our own lives, not be so much about what we can do for everybody else, but come to the realization that our lives matter and that we need to also enjoy our own lives. And so a lot of the painful things we go through is actually to wake us up to who we are, and to wake us up to the fact that we count too. You know, for a long time, you know, I was wondering why everybody in my family, why is it that I'm the one whom they treat like don't matter at all? Why is it that out of everybody in my family, I'm the one who gets treated like nothing, like I don't count at all? And this is God's way of trying to get me to waking up to the fact that it's Him who I need to rely on. It's Him who I need to look to, and not to depend on family, not to look to family, not to rely on man, but to rely on God. And so that was a tough lesson that I had to learn, and I learned it in a very harsh way. Yes, I trusted on God, but I didn't always rely on God, because I'm looking at how my relatives are supportive of each other, and I'm like, where is that support for me? You know, where is that love for me? I'm looking at, there was a cow that I was trying to catch, but I don't think I got it on here. So I'm seeing them show love to each other, and I'm like, where is this love? Why isn't any of this love being shown to me? Why aren't they that way with me? And so I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn the hard way that God wanted me to not just have faith in Him, but to also rely on Him. Not my family, but Him completely. Okay, I'm gonna stop trying to catch these cows, because it's very difficult when you're riding by yourself and I can't even hardly see what I'm filming. But God is trying, through all of this pain, God is simply trying to get you to love yourself. There's all those cows over there. I'm trying to keep it steady and I'm trying to stay on the road. He wants you to love yourself and to rely on Him. Not so much on your relatives or anybody else. Completely rely on Him. Because where He's taking you, they can't go anywhere. Anyway, where He's trying to take you, they can't go. So He wants you to lose your attachments to them. Detach from them and attach yourself to the Lord. He no longer wants you in any way dependent on any of them. He has a plan for you, and He needs to completely have you dependent on Him in order to fulfill this plan. And He can't fulfill this plan if you are relying on them. When He called Abraham, He called him completely away from all of his relatives. He called him to be completely detached from everybody he knew and everything that he knew. Because this call that He had on Abraham's life was so great. Abraham couldn't be around his relatives. God didn't want Abraham dependent on any of his relatives to get him through any of the tough times he would have to go through. God wanted Abraham completely dependent on Him. When God called King David, He called him away from all of his relatives. King David was on the back end of the desert running from Saul. And none of his relatives could help him. They didn't want to go up against a king. A lot of people don't want to go up against whatever you're going up against. They don't want to deal with whatever it is because it's so threatening and frightening to them. They don't want to go up against that. Yet they're watching from a distance as you go up against it. And the whole thing is not to destroy you, but for you to build your trust on God. It's not to take you out, but to build your faith and your trust on God. And so God will take you through some things. He will take you through some journeys and some strifes in order to build your faith and your walk with Him. He does not want you dependent on anybody where He's taking you. Where He's taking you, you have to turn to Him. You have to rely on Him in order to make it where He's taking you. You're not going to be able to relax and have a relaxed walk with the Lord. No, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional. Intentionally read your word. Intentionally pray. Intentionally worship. Even when you feel pain and you feel like, where is God? Where is God? Has He abandoned me? Is God behind all this? And you want to feel angry with God and you want to feel like He's not there for you. He's there. He's just hanging in the wings and seeing, are you going to have faith? Are you going to trust Him? Are you going to believe He's good? Are you going to believe He's for you and He's got good plans for you? And so it brings a passage to mind. My thoughts for you are good and not evil. They're to bring you prosperity and not harm. And that's just paraphrasing. But God, what He has for us is so beyond anything that we could even think of. I couldn't really get that view inside the way I wanted it to. But what He has for us is so beyond anything that we could think or imagine. And He has to train us. He has to train us as soldiers to endure and to build up our endurance, build up our faith, build up our long sufferings, so that no matter what comes our way, when we get to that location, no matter what comes our way, we won't turn against God, and God won't turn against us. So this is the reason. This is the reason behind so much of the pain we go through, is so that we can be built up the way God wants to build us up, and He can do in us what He wants to do in us, but He has to train us first. He has to train us. Well, I hope that you all be well. I don't know if you guys can see that over there. I have these, because of how sunny it can get sometimes, I have these things on my windows to keep the sun out. There was something so beautiful that I was trying to get y'all to see. I'm sorry, but it's just not coming through on the camera as I thought it would. Let me see if it'll do it this time. Hopefully that's coming through. I can't see what it's catching, but I hope it got what I was trying to show you. And you all be blessed. Have a beautiful life. Take care.